Honestly, I'm very tempted to say that I didn't upload on Sunday because I was, it was a sort of like meta way of saying, oh, you got to be patient for me to upload. But realistically, I just got caught up with a lot of responsibilities last minute. And yeah, I literally could not, I literally had no chance of uploading this video on Sunday, even if I wanted to. Patience, the capacity to tolerate or accept any delay, trouble, or suffering without being angry or upset. Patience, it's such a virtuous trait that so many people would benefit from around the world if people put more attention to it. But in recent times, many people end up ignoring patience and the value that it holds. Society today, more than ever, values action, activity, and sudden results. Many people will jump into a relationship not knowing exactly what they want or what to expect from it, or will expect there to be a reward for doing one task knowing that it takes a consistent amount of effort to accomplish. Social media is a prime example, and I'm guilty of this as well. How many times have we skipped a video because we weren't hooked in the first 5 seconds of it or in the first 3 seconds? These daily features have dwindled our patience to the point where people get frustrated when they don't get what they want or when they don't see a result in less than a picosecond. There was a recent study, I believe, done in 2025 where millions of internet users would give up on a video that didn't play in the first 10 seconds. More interestingly, users who had a faster connection would end up clicking off the video faster, suggesting something that many of us know but don't really want to admit. Technological process hinders patience. That feeling of not having to wait, it's become unbearable for many of us, that it deprives us of not being able to benefit from long-term goals. Something I suffered from for a long time, something that I still suffer, but in more mundane and smaller parts of my life. I used to seek instant gratification in ways that I am not proud of. I remember working out for 3 days in a row and expecting to see abs and being absolutely miserable because I looked exactly the same and felt exactly the same. I'm sure someone has experienced this. This might be like a weird rant, but has anyone ever like experienced this like as a kid where you'll be in an event in a classroom or a part of the whole school where you guys have to kind of answer something quickly or sort of get this answer right, and whoever does gets like a prize or a reward for it? It's always interesting to me seeing that the ones who have always, won first place or get the reward are the patient, calm kids who take their time answering their question or performing the right act or move that they were supposed to do. To be honest, it doesn't really seem all that fair to kind of use children and patience as a sort of way to give off my own thoughts on patience, considering that children are naturally impatient. That's just how we are. That's just in our nature. Pretty much what I'm trying to say is instant gratification will not help you at all. I think what's more interesting is how it affects Gen Z and Gen Alpha the most, as we were all born into a technologically advancing world that was quickly moving towards a sort of fast reward society. Was it moving towards a market where instant results and action was rewarded and satiating? The thing is, it's not even our fault. Society decided that for maximum income, we should have everything right at our fingertips. Shows, movies, music, absolutely everything on demand. And that fosters a need for a quick result, not allowing for a single delay. It's believed that we evolved to abandon long-term rewards as our ancestors were hunter-gatherers, not farmers. There's an extremely interesting experiment that was done in the 60s and 70s. The Stanford marshmallow experiment. Essentially, what would happen is they would just put a group of children into a room with one marshmallow and tell them to wait for 15 minutes. If they waited for 15 minutes, they would get 2 marshmallows instead of 1. And as you could tell, most of the kids would choose to eat the marshmallow before the 15 minutes were up, seeking instant gratification of that 1 marshmallow rather than waiting for 2 marshmallows. I think what I found very interesting as well was at the end of the article where Neil Burton states that having patience comes from having faith or trusting that patience will deliver. And it generally makes so much sense. I haven't lived that long. I'm 20. I'm going to be 21 soon. Um, but in my short time, I've witnessed all the people who have patience are ones who trust others immensely, or ones who are very calm and sort of are content with where they are at life. They trust the process and therefore have more patience because they have experienced moments in their life where patience has delivered and has given them a sort of positive reward. There was an experiment done in 2012, I believe, a sort of branch of the Sanford marshmallow experiment, where before the experiment started, they would put two groups of kids in different situations. One group of children would receive broken promises and basically untrustworthy experiences, and the others would receive rewards by having their promises kept. After the experiment, it showed that those who received kept promises waited longer periods of time as opposed to those who received broken promises. It goes to further prove the point of Neil Burton. Patience aligns more closely with trust. So the more you receive a kept promise, the more you're able to build trust, the more you're able to build patience, just in general. One more thing I want to add is an experiment done by Dr. Kurt Richter. He would place rats in water and see how long they would swim until they essentially gave up and drowned. Which, it's pretty inhumane, but most experiments are like that, unfortunately. Around 15 minutes is when the rats would basically just give up swimming, frantically swimming, might I add, and essentially let themselves drown. But something interesting was done where, in the situation where a rat almost drowned and was about to give up, the researchers would save it right before it gave up and let it rest for a bit before putting them back in the water. Doing this showed studies that they lasted and would swim for a lot longer than expected, some up to 60 hours of straight swimming. I think this just goes to further prove the point that having trust in patience makes one more patient in life and in general. And it also just showcases resilience. And I feel like those two align a lot. Now, why am I saying all this? It all seems so obvious, but it's because not enough people are appreciating or understanding the impact that patience really does have. We're all too busy distracting ourselves or working 24/7 to just take a step back and realize how dangerous these societal habits are. Because of how the world is, it's extremely difficult to process and exercise patience, but it isn't impossible. So, how does one become more patient? Deep breathing, as basic and as cliche as it might sound. If you focus on solely breathing, letting every sensation sort of pass in the current moment, it'll let you regulate your emotions, let you regulate your body. It calms the anxiousness that you feel in that current moment down, and it distracts you from what you were thinking about previously. Focusing on the now, kind of similar to, breathing, focusing on the now helps you accept current circumstances as they are. It also helps reduce anxious driven reactions, which is a trait that I had a lot of trouble, controlling back then. Paying attention to daily mundane activities like washing dishes or eating, just let that sensation sort of pass. That helps you sort of be in the current moment now. Focusing on that sensation that these mundane activities brings, it helps prevent you from sort of spiraling and thinking about other stuff that you might negatively get impacted by. Identifying triggers is the most important one for me, at least. What makes you mad and frustrated will help you understand why you are impatient. Now, understanding where those roots are, you can better help and combat that by, avoiding those triggers, which will help you grow a resilience to them in the future. It's kind of like letting a wound close, letting it heal essentially, instead of reopening it again and again and experiencing that frustrating sort of situation. Last but not least, accept what you can't control. This is one I kind of still have trouble with, but still putting in consistent effort every day to, repeat to myself and help accept. Once you realize you're unable to change a situation or change a person, you'll let go of that sort of feeling of impatience and frustration, as you've come to accept that it's out of your hands and you can't control it. Hopefully, by using these exercises that I've given you, we can all learn to combat this quick, rewarding system that's been thrust upon us. Now, what did I do this week? Almost did my full workout. Well, I did, but when it came to like the stretches and the cardio, I kind of half-assed it. Ain't gonna hold you. I kind of half-assed it, but I'm proud of myself because I did more than what I did last week. Last week I kind of only did, my workouts. I did none of the cardio, did none of the stretching, none of that. I kind of just left it out because I was so tired from that new regiment that I had scheduled. So I was just kind of out of it and really didn't want to put in that effort. Didn't beat myself up for it, so that's cool. The best part, what I'm very happy about, is that I actually did proper form, because that's something I had trouble with last week. I was kind of doing it incorrectly, so I didn't really feel that sort of soreness that you should be feeling after working out. And having that feeling of just like, damn, my body's like rebuilding itself, that felt amazing. So I'm really proud of myself for that. Hopefully this week, I can actually do everything fully. We focused on the art and actually made stuff that I'm super proud of. I hope you guys are excited to see. Made some plans and schedules for this year, some video projects that I'm starting up right now, so hopefully you guys enjoy that. But yeah, I'm really just grateful for everything that's going on in my life right now. I don't know, just kind of like kind of content, kind of like happy. Wouldn't say I'm at peace. There's still stuff that I want to do, still stuff to sort of like stress about, I guess, but I try not to let it get to me. um but yeah, if you watched up till the end, I am very grateful. Thank you so much for watching. Next week will be about loneliness. This one's going to be a complicated one. Don't really know how I'm going to format it, but I'll figure it out. Hopefully I can actually upload it on Sunday instead of Monday. So yeah, thank you for watching. See you next time. Oh fucking damn, I'm gonna be late for work, bro. There's people, there's like grown people walking by looking at me recording. I don't care though. I love doing this. I don't care if you judge me. I'm doing it because I love it.